So we all know Goosebumps, right? Like Goosebumps was definitely one of the books that back in the 90s like ruled schools. Like everyone loved. Of course you have the classic meme, "Oh my god, Goosebumps." Um but that hype was real. Like honestly, that was a genuine hype for most people. That was a, you know, legit thing for a lot of people, myself included, where you had this genuine love for like scary stories. And, it was right, like I said, not to discredit like, scary stories to tell in the dark or, things like that. There was just like a genuine, honest, like enjoyment of horror. And again, that's probably one of the reasons why, there's so many horror fans today, because they kind of grew up in this era of like really enjoying horror because of like, Goosebumps. It was a major factor. So I thought it'd be kind of fun just to talk about some of my favorite Goosebumps stories. Not really a top 10 or anything, just to really like talk about some of my favorites of the books. And it's just kind of like, this is just going to be kind of a free throw kind of a video, honestly. Um, yeah. So, yeah, let's talk about it. Like, let's talk about some favorites, and I'm always excited to hear what your favorite Goosebumps what some of your favorite Goosebumps books were. Not TV shows. I think I'm gonna do like I'm kind of contemplating of doing like a Goosebumps 10 favorite episodes, but I definitely want to do books first. So anyway, I guess my favorite one of all time for favorite of the Goosebumps novels is Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Like, honestly, it is werewolf. It's one of the reasons why I like werewolves. Like, I've always liked werewolves over vampires anytime. But I think that does come from a little help from Werewolf of Fever Swamp, along with, the Wolfman and, just how cool werewolves are. But I think it comes from that. I think it's also like a genuine kind of like creepy story. I will say, though, that as much as I love this book, I will definitely say that, like, sometimes R.L. Stine really has this thing where, R.L. Stine really has this whole thing of, hey, the plot of getting to this point doesn't make any sense. Like, a couple of deer researchers uproot their whole family to go to some backwater swamp in Florida to reintroduce deers, and also they live in a very awful home. That doesn't make any sense. Like, I get if they were poor or something, like if this was their only option and they didn't really have a good one, but like you could just do like biologists do this all the time, where they can just go they can stay in a regular home and do their research in the swamp and just take the commute there, or just follow the notes or trail cams. I don't know. It just kind of like that always bothered me. I will say, though, that the werewolf story on a whole is pretty solid. I will openly admit that the main werewolf story is really cool. It's a lot of fun. It's a cool mystery of who done it and who's the werewolf. It reminds me a lot, and I wouldn't be shocked if I would not be shocked in the slightest if, like, what was I going to say? R.L. Stine watched this movie called The Beast Must Die, which is a werewolf story where you're trying to figure out who the werewolf is. So, yeah, I personally really like it. That's my favorite of the books. As for others, of course you got to go with Welcome to Horrorland. That one was always a fun. Like, I think we can all agree that like Welcome to Horrorland was always a solid 100% book, like one of the best of the series. Welcome to Horrorland was such a cool, twisted kind of look at a theme park. The monster designs were all described great, and there was just so much fun to it. again, I will say that with parents, and maybe this is intentional with R.L. Stine books, is that maybe he's just kind of making the parent characters dumb on purpose. I don't know. I just kind of wish they were smarter, because there are literal red flags the moment they come to this park, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's cool." Yeah. So here's the other one. Don't go into the basement. Don't go into the basement. To me, was some excellent body horror for like a child to read. Like that was some stuff like to a kid. That's like David Cronenberg, if I'm being honest. Like it's a genuine. It is a genuine kind of body horror kind of stuff, and I always was creeped out by the ending. The ending always got me, of like they're packing up and moving, and then one of the flowers say, "No, it's me, I'm your father, I'm your dad, really," and it leaves you kind of ambiguous, like, is it or is it not? It just always creeped me out. That ending always kind of really creeped me out. So I guess like the next one, like the next book I'm going to talk, I really enjoyed, Ghost Beach. Ghost Beach. First off, Tim Jacobus's artwork is always great. I know we all talk about like one of the reasons why we always got drawn to Goosebumps books is because of Tim Jacobus's artwork, and I've actually met him twice and gotten 2 signed posters of it, one of Werewolf of Fever Swamp and the other of Ghost Beach. I personally think Ghost Beach is the best. Is my favorite of the Goosebumps covers, because I just love how the lighting, the shades, how the ghost rises over the beach side. It's so good. This is another one where the ending just kind of creeps you out, and the mystery in and of itself, while I was smart enough to kind of like figure that out, I was also at the same time of like, damn, this is a solid ending. Like this is a solid like a solid ghost story. Yeah. Well, yeah. So Ghost Beach is another. The next one, I would probably say, like another one of my favorites is Night of the Living Dummy. That one, I would like. That one, I know I'm talking about some basic ones, but they're good for a reason. Like they are solid stories in and of themselves. I really did like how, if you thought Slappy was terrifying in the original TV show, he is way more malicious and way more terrifying in the books. Like I know, like obviously he had to be toned down for the movie, like for the TV show, but in the books, I know it's for kids, but he was a malicious little fucker. So yeah, another one, of course, Haunted Mask. I will say though, I think I like the episode more than the book. The book, I feel like, kind of dragged on in some points. I still liked it, but I feel like I liked the. I really do feel like I enjoyed the episode more. Then you had Cuckoo Clock of Doom. I think that one's underrated. I think that one's a really underrated one because we don't get a lot of time travel horror, and that was one of the first times I was exposed to like time travel being a scary element. So I thought that was really cool. And I haven't really seen a time travel horror movie. I thought that's what Antebellum was going to be, if you guys remember that movie, but then it became a pretentious something else, whatever that was. But I was like, oh, time travel is a horror. It could be, because time travel is a scary thing. So it would make a lot of sense to make it into a horror thing. And here it's just like you're going backwards in life and you could just be nothing very soon. And it also ends on a note of, yeah, he kind of murdered his sister indirectly. So yeah, I don't like I said, I think Cuckoo Clock of Doom is a highly of most of these I'm going to talk about. I think this is one of the most highly underrated of the books. And I guess like for one more, I always enjoyed Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. That one is creepy. That one is a legit scary one. I think the episode is solid, but the book's way more atmospheric. It actually feels like, to me at least, it feels like, looking back on it, it feels kind of like a Hammer horror film. Like it really does feel like something that would come up from Hammer. But yeah. So those are some of my favorite Goosebumps books. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what are some of your favorite Goosebumps books and why. Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.